It's a dream we all share. To grow beyond our own limits. To do the unimaginable. The Eindhoven University of Technology has nearly 60 years of experience in doing just that. We have been the best Dutch University of Technology for over 7 years and keep going strong. Every day, we work on the next big thing. We inspire the world through our students. All this is possible because we work as a team. This is the place where excellence is all around us.
Welcome to the university where innovation starts. Welcome to the TUe Excellence. Dear members of the Executive Board, esteemed deans of our departments, professors, and members of staff, dear boards of our associations, and members of the University Council, dear students and guests from this university, welcome. Welcome to the opening of the new academic year 2015-2016, and welcome to the opening of Flux, our newest building. A special welcome to Sander Dekker, Secretary of State for Education, Culture and Science. And a special welcome to René Janssen, award-winning professor connected to our departments of Applied Physics and Chemical Engineering and Chemistry. Both are guest speakers for today. My name is Glenn Bergmans. I'm President of the Federation of Study Associations Eindhoven and Master of Ceremonies for today. TUe Excellence. What is excellence? When is something excellent? And how can we achieve this excellence? These are some of the questions that we will talk about today. Some people might say excellence means good results, performing well. However, for me this doesn't quite seem to cover it. This definition really focuses on results, the outcomes of one's actions, where I think that excellence lies more in how we achieve things. For if you focus on results, it would mean that excellence could be a lucky shot, a one-time hit. Excellence is about a way of doing things, a way of working. In the last year, in my role as president, I met quite a number of new people from boards or committees. They were excellent because they kept associations going with passion and because they had an ambition to make the university a better place. They were excellent because they worked together with others in a team. And they were excellent because they worked in an environment that they were comfortable in, that they had made their own, and where people from their community could walk in and out all day. They were not excellent because of the results they did solely. I would say you need 3 things in order to excel. First and foremost, you need the right ambitions. But don't forget that you need the right people around you and the right environment to work in order to truly unlock your potential. These things stimulate you, and through that, you will inspire others. Of course, I cannot speak for your ambitions. But as for exciting people and a stimulating environment, I would say that you have come to the right place. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite our esteemed Rector Magnificus, Frank Bayens, forward to share his thoughts on excellence.
We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. So how better to capture the essence of TUe excellence than with this quote inspired by Aristotle? Ladies and gentlemen, dear students, dear colleagues, State Secretary, Mayor of 's-Hertogenbosch, welcome to this new academic year at our university. It's really exciting to be able to meet so many of you on this wonderful day, and hopefully it will stay that way. We have a record number of new students joining us today, 2,700. Among them, 2,000 freshmen and close to 600 students from abroad. And we are absolutely delighted and proud that so many have chosen our university for their academic education. What a great start to a new academic year. Our community is clearly thriving. This is the first time that I'm opening the academic year as a rector, and to be able to stand here in front of such a talented and enthusiastic community is really special to me. Our community keeps growing, and that poses whole new challenges to us. What do we need to do to make all those 2,000 freshmen excel? Or indeed, all 10,000 or so of students that we currently have on board? And what about our scientific community? Bearing in mind that Ajax is even struggling to make their 11 players excel. And Jan, PSV for that matter. Or perhaps I should say Feyenoord after yesterday's match. So how on earth can we get the best out of all those thousands of students? And how do we enable our scientists and staff to excel in their specific discipline? I'd like to thank the student committee organization who dreamt up this wonderful theme, because excellence is really the challenge that we face. Now, who better to talk about excellence than Sander Dekker, State Secretary of Education, Culture and Science. Sander, we really appreciate your coming here today. In the past 3 years, you've done a lot to promote and support excellence at Dutch universities. And it's great that we can hear from you today what road you see ahead of us. TUe Excellence, the slogan that our students proposed. It reflects our ambition to excel in education and research. But what does that mean to you? To answer this question, I'll discuss 3 statements. First, agility, not rigidity. I think it's very exciting to be in engineering today. Technology is just everywhere, and technology will continue to affect everyday life in inconceivable ways. Just imagine life without medical technology, or without the internet. And now looking specifically at our students, how about your life without a smartphone? New technologies and new companies emerge each year, and some of them will have a huge impact on everyday life. And more than ever before, engineers will play a decisive role in these companies. But in order to be successful, everything needs to be right. Companies need to excel in every aspect, not just technology. Technology, marketing, logistics, design, customer support, you name it, it all has to interact seamlessly. This means that our engineers will need to shine in their specific discipline. And engineers must be equipped with world-class, in-depth know-how. And increasingly, the engineers should be able to interact with other disciplines, to work as a team. Now this, I think, is why we have fundamentally changed our educational model and have created so many educational options for our students. This is why we have established the Bachelor College some 3 years ago. And this is why we launched a new graduate program and a graduate school today. It's been quite a challenge to prepare the new graduate program. It's already the 4th summer in a row that a lot of our faculty had to prepare new courses. Jan van Zo, Dean of the Graduate School, and many, many others have worked extremely hard to get the new program up and running. All subjects have been re-engineered, an extraordinary achievement. And I wish to thank all of those who've invested their creativity and time such that we could start the graduate school today. Now, we've set all elements into place. It's now up to our students to shape their own future. Our programs have the necessary agility to enable that. Second, inspiration next to perspiration. We're convinced that the intertwining of education and research is crucial to achieve excellence in engineering education. The direct contact between scientists and students is right at the core of our educational philosophy. Scientists who are at the forefront of their fields make the best scientists, or the best teachers. Their passion, their love and enthusiasm enables them to teach others what it goes to go beyond what's currently known. Put more bluntly, excellent research is a prerequisite for excellent academic education. Now, the government will gradually make extra funds available for more teachers at universities. But apparently education and research are gradually drifting apart at some places. But this is not how we see our road to excellence ahead of us. Technology is hands-on. And I don't think that teachers who only teach can easily go beyond their subject knowledge. And that's why we as a university invest in scientists who embrace the importance of teaching. Scientist teachers. They teach in small groups with a lot of exchange, and they share their experience and enthusiasm in hands-on labs with the students. That's how you, as students, learn to push the boundaries, how you learn to innovate, to cope with uncertainty and with your own limitations, how you get acquainted with state-of-the-art equipment, and how you learn to see structure in a complex environment. I actually think that complexity will be one of the key challenges that you will face in your professional career. Now, it's so much easier to work hard and excel when you are inspired. Third, excellence before growth. A few years ago, we had about 7,000 students. Today, this has grown to about 10,000 students. And it's been estimated that we will grow at least to 12,000 and perhaps more in the years to come. But our educational model, consisting of working groups, intensive interactive lectures, is not easily scalable. Accommodating more students for us is not just a matter of teaching in, say, bigger halls. We really need to draw in additional scientist teachers from somewhere. Now, despite the growth in student numbers and extreme competition for research funding, our scientists have been able to maintain a high level of funding for their research. We're among the top performers in the national NWO Gravity program, in the European Horizon 2020 program, and our own Impulse program is doing exceptionally well as well. So that's all fantastic, and a great compliment to all of us. But our scientists and staff have an extremely high workload. Many work 60 to 80 hours a week. So to maintain the quality of our education and research at such a growth of student numbers, paired with this intense competition for research funding, we need a significant increase in our scientific staff. However, the current financial metrics of universities inhibits the necessary scaling. So what's our answer to this? And I see 4 directions. And this implicitly is also my advice to Ajax, I would say, and Jan, also to TASE. First, pair individual talent with the power of team play. It makes us stronger and it makes us more competitive. Because what applies to our students also applies to our scientists. A team can compete globally. A team performs in ways that can't be achieved when you remain alone. It's a team that makes you excel. While in cycling, an individual may win the Tour de France, the Champions League is won by the best team. And team play, I think, is perhaps the most defining characteristics of this university. It suits our culture and it suits the engineering profession. After all, a device, a building, an experiment, or a computer program is designed by a team, often bringing together different disciplines. Second, as much as we can, we need to cut the red tape, fight the mountains of paperwork incurred by excessive bureaucracy, simplify and streamline regulations, and put the resources where they're most needed: education and research, and in particular student-staff interaction. Third, we must and will invest in talent. As a consequence of the increasing number of students, our annual budget will grow by about 15 to 20 million euros in the years to come. This may seem like a lot, but it's by far insufficient to really capture the growth that we currently have. The additional budget will not be allocated to services, but to the departments to invest in new teacher scientists. Finally, we put excellence before further growth. Without additional investments, we cannot grow without sacrificing quality. To accommodate further growth in student numbers, we would either have to reduce the quality of our education or erode our research. In the long run, both options lead to an unacceptable loss of quality in both our research as well as our education. Taken together, without further additional investments, it's definitely in the interest of our students and society that we put excellence before growth. Dear colleagues and students, I apologize. Our university is thriving. The Keuzegids Masters, the Dutch guide to the master courses, has rated us the best engineering university for more than 5 years in a row. According to the Shanghai ranking, we are 6th in engineering in Europe. Worldwide, our university is second to none in terms of public-private collaboration. And of course, the number of students is rising. Yet, I think we could do so much more. Our ambition is nothing less than to play in the Champions League of science and technology. But to achieve that ambition and to accommodate our growth, substantial additional public investments in the university are mandatory. And I believe that this is justified even more in view of a surprising paradox. Although our region has the highest private investment in research and development in our country, the public investments in research and education in our region are among the lowest in the country. Just imagine, what great things we could do if the public investments would be at par with the private investments. Dear colleagues and students, I'll finish with 3 announcements. First, I'm pleased to be able to make this announcement today, doing so simultaneously with Marjan Ouderman, President of Utrecht University, who will be making the same announcement this afternoon at the start of their academic year. Utrecht and Eindhoven will strengthen and expand their strategic alliance. We aim to develop 2 internationally leading research institutes. Both are based on existing, successful, long-term collaboration. One on chem energy and one on regenerative medicine. We also are going to step up our efforts to stimulate and facilitate that our students do part of their education in Utrecht and vice versa. Second, assuming that all formalities will be passed, I'm pleased to announce that a great collaboration with Tilburg University, the city of 's-Hertogenbosch, and the province Noord-Brabant is now taking shape. The grant initiative Data Sciences is an excellent example of inter-faculty, inter-university and regional cooperation. It brings together governments, knowledge institutions and businesses, and it has international outreach. Third, I'm pleased to inform you today, again doing so simultaneously with Marjan Ouderman in Utrecht, and next week also by Louise Fresco, President of Wageningen UR, that Utrecht, Eindhoven and Wageningen have the intention to join forces. Our technological expertise, combined with the know-how of Wageningen on healthy food and environment, and the expertise of Utrecht on life sciences and sustainability, creates a wealth of opportunities to our university. I think this is all great news. It extends the scope of our research, and it also adds a myriad of choices for our students. There's some more news I have to share with you. During this academic year, our university will be celebrating its 60th anniversary. And we will be holding the Dream and Dare Festival. It's a 3-day celebration in April. But it's not just going to be a year of celebrations. Quite the contrary. Excellence is not a given. It's hard work. Just imagine how much effort Daphne Schippers has invested to become world champion on the 200 meters last Friday. Meanwhile, for you, our students, there are all sorts of opportunities. I would say embrace this agility in our programs and develop yourselves. We have honors classes for talented students. I'd also like to plug Studium Generale, who yet again has an exciting program for the upcoming year. We also encourage you, all of you, to be actively involved in our enthusiastic community. We value open, informal, and a caring community, because we believe that when we are personal, passionate, and curious and connected, our community is really the place where innovation starts. So see for yourself, go and listen, work together. It will be up to each of you to reach for excellence. We will do everything we can to support you. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, that is not an act, but a habit. So let's fall into a habit and make this an excellent year together. Thank you.
Thank you, Rector, for your inspiring words. The next speaker of today is someone with a big heart for education and research, and links that with politics. As a former alderman of education in Den Haag, ex-chairman of the Rathenau Institute, and currently nothing less than Secretary of State for Education, Culture and Science, he is a most honored guest. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Sander Dekker.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President, Mr. Rector, and of course, dear students, what an honor to open the academic year here in Eindhoven. I've been here as a guest of the university several times, but never on an occasion like this. And it's good to see that politics and academics share a similar tradition, that at the opening of our year will be in 2 weeks' time, the opening of the parliamentary year, that we wear funny suits and funny hats. So I'm in a normal suit today, but in 2 weeks' time, I will be wearing a similar suit like you. For first-year students, this is the kickoff of your student life. It's probably the first time that you will be living away from home, and you couldn't have chosen a better city than Eindhoven. For engineers, innovators, designers, this is what we could call sacred ground. It is where most of Dutch technical history was written. This is where the researchers and tutors amongst you keep creating new history, and in the years ahead, they will teach you to do the same thing. The results of Eindhoven's successes can be found all over the world. The chips that roll out of the ASML machines are not only placed in our smartphones, but also in those of your African and Chinese colleagues. The medical equipment designed here in Eindhoven has found its way all over the globe. And it's down to the researchers here that this City of Light was recently ranked as the smartest region and the most innovative city in the entire world. In this place, innovation is second nature, technology a booming business. But it's no guarantee that it will stay that way. I'm stating the obvious when I'm telling you that technology is forging ahead. You students can probably not imagine that phones at some times weren't even smart, that movies were recorded on tape, and that the only thing wireless was the radio. And it's not just technology that is moving forward so rapidly. Companies are developing just as fast. Airbnb, Uber, Snapchat are each estimated to be worth over $10 billion. 5 years ago, no one had heard of them. On the flip side, 5 years ago, Nokia was still the global market leader in mobile phones. And 10 million people in the Netherlands had a profile page on the internet forum called Hives. Both companies were unable to keep up with the innovation drive of their competitors, and Nokia and Hives both not only lost their position, but they hang by a thread. It illustrates something that I would like to talk to you about today, about what it takes to stay innovative and what it takes to stay excellent, what it needs to be competitive. I'm going to take you to another era, an era which laid the foundation for this campus here in Eindhoven. Let's go back to the late 19th century. Eindhoven was not much more than, it was at that time a much smaller city than it is now. More of a big village actually, population 4,000. In 1891, Gerard Philips established a light bulb factory. And when production took off, Eindhoven grew just as fast in its slipstream. From the start, Philips undertook small-scale research. And after a few years, this began to take more serious forms. The research took place in a fully equipped lab at a place called Strijp S. Maybe some of you know where it is, and otherwise you should check it out. It's real funky. And still, as still happens in offices, the name of the physics laboratory was soon shortened. It became known as the Net Lab. And while its name was cut in half, its field of research spread further. The initiative for that expansion mainly came from outside the lab. During World War I, it was a hospital that asked the Net Lab to repair its X-ray lamps. The Net Lab engineers examined the lamps, they repaired them, and then developed the technology further. Philips was thus the first to be able to detect TBC with an X-ray machine. In the 1920s, back then, that was as unique as it was life-saving. The innovations the Net Lab created gave the company a huge boost. They were the fruits of a tradition that attracted scientists to Eindhoven from all over the world. Researchers with a clear focus, who were willing to investigate new ideas. Long before a university was founded in this city, Philips already carried out groundbreaking research. But as the years evolved, the Net Lab role changed. Scientists started to focus more on creating new knowledge and less on the application of that knowledge. Every now and then, the lab still produced high-quality products. Video 2000, for example, or the video laser disc. Both offered a way to watch cinema-quality films at home. None of Philips' competitors offered a better quality than they did. Yet, neither were a success. The video recorder arrived when Sony's Betamax and VHS had already saturated the market. The video laserdisc was developed without taking consumer wishes into account. They wanted a device that enabled them to record films, a feature that the laserdisc didn't have. The player was hardly sold. These setbacks came at a bad time for the company. In the 1980s, the world was in the midst of an economic crisis. Low-wage countries were emerging, employment was soaring. Philips was suffering too, unable to deal with the competition. A major reorganization was imminent. It was at that time that a couple of engineers from product development contacted their colleagues at Strijp S. And this was highly unusual. Strijp S was known as the Forbidden City. You couldn't just walk in. The barrier between the Net Lab and the factories wasn't just physical. The scientists at the Net Lab and the engineers who made the products were worlds apart. Both worked on their own islands. But now the product developers needed their colleagues badly. They wanted to record sound, but in a new way, optically. However, this was extremely complex and they needed help. For the production of the CD, it took specialists from different disciplines. Eventually, knowledge was required about optical recording, signal processing, laser technology, and precision mechanics. But that wasn't enough. Philips eventually joined forces with its biggest competitor, Sony. And together they turned their idea into a successful product. Some of you were there, some of you weren't even born yet, but the CD became extremely popular. After years of falling sales, Philips was on a roll again. The failures of Video 2000 and the video laserdisc and the success of the CD teaches us an important lesson. When scientists and engineers stayed at their own islands, setbacks occurred. It was only when scientists joined forces with people and developments from outside that they were able to make applications that really were innovative. Their work crossed boundaries, and they created products that may even have saved the company's future. To me, it's very simple. New applications only have value when they're used. And I believe that the best applications are fruits from collaborations between unexpected partners. It's what Tesla Motors shows as well. The electric car company works alongside firms like Panasonic, Daimler, University Dalhousie in Canada, and last year's the company's market value grew by more than 600% to $31 billion. But it's not only big companies that benefit from collaboration. The Dutch app developer Frederik van den Broek was diagnosed with brain cancer. He discovered his illness was literally a brain teaser. Remembering when he needed to take his pills and what to eat with those pills became a difficult daytime job. In collaboration with Microsoft and Amsterdam Free University Hospital, he developed Mind App. This app helps patients to keep up with their treatment. The app also gives doctors tools to check out easily how the patient has been doing between checkups. Everyone involved developing Mind App in the end benefits. Mind App, the NetLab, Tesla Motors, they all show that innovation and excellence can't exist in splendid isolation. That real progress happens and only happens when people look beyond the boundaries of their own discipline, when they share their own knowledge and skills with other people, other universities, other companies, and perhaps even with our biggest competitors. It is a tradition that this university seamlessly blends into. You realize that challenges you are embarking are so difficult and complex that you need other people. As a student, you will learn to do the same thing. With the introduction of the broad bachelor, you learn to think and to link disciplines. This enables you to seek out the areas between the disciplines for yourself, to integrate technology with design, for example. And I'm sure I don't need to convince all of you here today about the importance of collaboration. Your rector has just explained that this university is setting up 2 new institutes with the Utrecht University. And you intend to work with Wageningen University. Besides that, your work and you work with more companies than any other university in the Netherlands. Not only do you reap the benefits, so do they. You are unique in that respect and you deserve your top position. But I believe that the Netherlands will only retain its top position in science if we invest more in partnerships. For many scientists, it is a big step to move outside the boundaries of their disciplines. Traditionally, researchers tend to focus on the development of knowledge within their own discipline. They visit conferences regarding their own specialization. At universities, they share offices with their direct colleagues, and they publish in journals carrying the name of their field of expertise. Now, let me be clear, our scientists are very good at that. Virtually no other country in the world does it better. If you see how often Dutch publications are quoted, then we are among the top of the world. But strangely, we are not half as good where innovation is concerned. In European Union innovation rankings, the Netherlands is not even near the group of leaders in innovation. Instead, we are among the group of followers. And even in that group, we are not excellent, but just average. It shows that scientists aren't always concerned with the application of their knowledge. In general, I feel that the scientific world is still too often looking inward. That there is too much emphasis on publishing in leading journals instead of creating new solutions, new innovations. Of course, writing scientific articles is key to their work, but often these are published in very specialized journals for and by experts, usually in a language which is difficult for other people to understand, sometimes, in fact, even for the colleagues at the other end of the corridor. When real innovation takes place at the interface of different disciplines, those disciplines must be able to understand one another. And then the articles which you publish must be accessible to everyone. If teachers, doctors, startup companies want to use scientific knowledge, they now end up at paywalls. Knowledge produced with public money is simply not available to that same public. And that is an obstacle to partnerships, to excellence, and ultimately to innovation. I do everything I can to make sure scientific publications become open access in the future. Because if we want to be excellent as a country and apply new knowledge, we must ensure that such knowledge is freely available. And we must ensure that we can match the competitors in other countries by allowing scientists not only to publish their findings, but also to give meaning to that knowledge alongside others. In order to help our scientists in forming partnerships, Minister Bussemaker and I want to draw up the National Science Agenda. And we have leading figures from industry and science to help us with that. In the National Science Agenda, we sketch out and decide the areas in which our knowledge have most impact. The areas in which science can make the biggest contribution to our progress. And which problems are so complex that scientists must work together with the industry to face them. Ladies and gentlemen, I have just mentioned that there was a time when Strijp S was called the Forbidden City. Only chosen scientists from Philips could go in and out of the NetLab. In the 90s, the NetLab moved to this university campus and is now called Philips Research. Here at the new location, many different organizations move in and out. Big companies, small startups, and education seamlessly merge together. I want to see these movements not just here, but in every knowledge institution. And that's why I'm making an appeal to the students here in the hall and to the scientists here and outside. Take the scientists and researchers from this city of light as a shining example. Work with other disciplines, collaborate with businesses, and form partnerships with social organizations. Don't focus solely on scientific breakthroughs, but break through the walls of your forbidden cities as well. Because by doing that, you give Dutch knowledge maximum impact. You let science make real progress, and you'll take the only road to excellent innovations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sander Dekker, for sharing your view on excellence with us. Next up on the program is a musical intermezzo. And we have a very, very special performer for you today. He's an exceptionally talented young harpist, and he will play for you variations on a theme of Paganini. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Remy van Kesteren. I think exceptionally talented was a bit short for this performance. At this university and its students, we always greatly value excellent education. That's why for years now we have asked students from the Student Advisory Board to select their best bachelor's and their best master's teacher for that year. Of course, this year we have done the same. At this occasion we would like to present them with the Educational Award as a stimuli for the next years to come. Who better to give these awards than our esteemed Rector Magnificus, Frank Bayens. Please come forward.
Education Awards. I think it really reflects the importance that we give to education, excellence in education. Our students have nominated one lecturer for each bachelor's and each master's program. The nominations were assessed by a jury of representatives from the Study Association. They're making up by the Student Advisory Board, with Karen Adi and myself offering some guidance. Clearly, the jury members had a very difficult, I think almost impossible task to select the winners from among the outstanding lecturers that were nominated. I will start with the bachelor programs. The slide on the screen behind me is assumed to show the names. I need the next slide. Ah, there they are. I read their names in alphabetical order and announce the winner in a moment from now. So nominated as bachelor lecturers are Emiel van Berkem, Kevin Boegin, René van Donkelaar, Pieter van Gorp, Bart Hengeveld, Paul den Hof, Johanna Hufken, Harry Jansen, René Jansen, Bert Koopmans en Maarten Steinboer. Quite a collection, right? I won't keep you in suspense. Ladies and gentlemen, the best bachelor's lecturer at Eindhoven University of Technology in 2015 is Kevin Boegin. Kevin, where are you? Please come over. That's what's moving here. Okay. Let's listen to what the expert jury, the students, have said about your teaching. Kevin is a very dynamic teacher with humor and critical thought. He's inviting and open, and nobody's afraid to ask him questions. Also, his slides encourage students to think in algorithms. And he advocates an algorithmic programming contest. He's also known for grading his exams within a couple of hours. That's impressive. Having graded many exams myself, I know how much work it is. As you see, the spirit of fast feedback continues after the exams. And under the category Innovation and Imagination, the jury reported that Kevin distinguished himself in a positive way by imposing rigorous exercises every week. Perspiration. Kevin, I think that's a fantastic report. Congratulations. Yeah. There you go. There's a 5,000 award that goes with it, and I think it's well deserved if you're such an outstanding lecturer. Thank you very much. Yeah. We get this one later on. Now the best master lecturer in Eindhoven. Again, the nominees are behind me, as you can see, and I'll read out their names. Joachim Arts, Igor Besseling, Boudewijn van Dongen, Matthias Vonk, Kees Goossens, Antal Haans, Hans Kuipers, Leg Milroy, Georg Pockert, Paul van der Schoot, and Akke Suiker. Again, I think it's a very special lineup that we have today. So those are the nominees. The winner, the best master lecturer at Eindhoven University of Technology in 2015 is Paul van der Schoot. Paul. Ik ga een paar mooie woorden tegen je zeggen. I will address you, please. In the spotlight. This is what the jury said about you. Paul van der Schoot is perhaps the most enthusiastic teacher of the department. His lectures are fun because he so obviously enjoys them himself. He talks about the physical theory as if it were a fantastic anecdote of his last holiday. Now, I didn't write this text myself, you know. This is the judgment of the expert jury that we have. And there's no better way to explain why I think we need teachers who excel in their scientific journey. The jury goes on. Both courses taught by Paul van der Schoot are connected to his own field of research. In his lecture, he often uses his own projects as an example of the theory that he has been explaining. Yet his lectures are not about giving him a presentation, but they are dialogues, student-staff interaction, the key to our education model. He demands that students respond to his questions and think together with him. Paul, your enthusiasm obviously is contagious. The judgment handed down by this jury, I think, is really wonderful. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you.
Congratulations. This goes with it. Yeah. Great. Yeah.
Okay,
thank
thanks
you.
a lot.
Thank you a lot. There's a certificate to it, but I'll give that to you later.
Cheers.
Now, there's a surprise element to this as well, because we don't have more programs. And there are only two actually. But I would like to invite another nominee to the stage. If you looked at it carefully, René Jansen was part of the nominees. Please, René. You can't win them all. But the fact that you're really in the top bachelor lectures provides further illustration of the point I made earlier today. Excellence in science goes hand in hand with excellence in teaching. And I think you're a living example of that. In 2 weeks' time, you will be awarded the Spinoza Prize. This is the highest scientific prize awarded in the Netherlands. And only a few scientists are brilliant enough to get one. After this news had been announced earlier this year, you told me the greatest contribution to science is the education of young people. I couldn't agree more. So this marks you as a great scientist, a great teacher, and a wonderful colleague. As a university, we value the inspiring work that you carry out in your group and your enthusiasm in the lecture halls. You're working at the crossroads of physics and chemistry, where basic and applied sciences meet. Ahead of you stands one of the big societal challenges: global transition to a sustainable energy source. And your research has made organic solar cells a serious alternative. Through your teaching, you take students and group members along with you in this journey. The only problem that we have as a university, we can't top the Spinoza Prize. So we had to think of something else. But we would like to underline this extraordinary achievement and show you how happy we are that you're with us. And that's why the board of the university has decided to award you the honorary medal of the university. Here you go. Alsjeblieft. floor is yours. Does it work? Yeah. A few weeks ago, I was asked to say something about excellence here. And the people that asked me must for sure know that was not my specific topic. I'm not sure if I have a real vision on that. Today, I'm really surprised by the honor that is given to me by this university. This university is very dear to me. I started here many, many years ago. Like many students, 2,700 today started here. I was one of these freshmen a long time ago. And although I've been away for a short time, this has been my home base. And this medal somehow means a lot to me. So thank you very much for that. In trying to say something about excellence, it's difficult for me. Because what is excellence? Excellence is not an achievement. Excellence is more like a goal. Excellence is something like searching for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. That is what you will try to achieve, and we know, at least I hope I don't make a secret for you, that that pot of gold is not there. But looking for it, just the joy of looking for it, I think keeps you running. And as a university, we get every year, this year we get 2,000 freshmen and 700 or 600 master students. 200 of the most talented people in the Netherlands. And also from abroad, 600-700 people from abroad. And it's our obligation as a university to teach them and help them become excellent and help them to find their pot of gold. And at the same time, our university is important to try and help our scientific staff, all the scientific members that are here and that are now also working in the departments. They have a dream. They have something that they want to excel in, some pot of gold that they define for themselves. And the university has to help and helps to make sure that is achievable. At the same time, these talents, the young students, but also the scientists, also have duties. They should not be satisfied with their results. Satisfaction is not a good thing. It's good for a few minutes, a few moments. But at the same time, you should think of where's my other pot of gold? Where's the other thing that I can help? In Dutch, we have a saying, ongenoegen is de basis voor de alle vooruitgang. So being dissatisfied can help you to find your next goal. And I think somehow that is an important thing to do. Don't think that when you have achieved something that that is a guarantee for the next achievement. And now we come back to soccer again. One year you win the national competition far ahead of any competition, and the next year you're happy that you keep the gap to 4 points. Also in science, excellence is not a done thing. And I was really happy, not really happy, but somehow happy that after being announced that I was one of the Spinoza prize winners this year, that also one of my papers was rejected. So excellence is not the same as perfection. And I think that is very important. There's always something to learn, there's always something better to achieve. And I think while achieving something with a team is very important, it's also important of every person to be part of that excellent team and to try and make his or her contributions to it. Do I have a golden advice, the thing that you have to follow when you want to be excellent, become excellent? As far as I can judge, you will never find the end of the rainbow. But if you want to find it, and if you think that you can find it, try to go to an environment where excellence is all around you. And try to find a boss that is excellent. And if you are doing well, then after some time you get maybe the opportunity to hire some people. And then hire people that are excellent. And with all this excellence always around you, you can come far end to achieve the end of the rainbow. And this advice here also gives me, and I'd like to take this opportunity
the opportunity to thank everyone that has contributed to the award of the Spinoza Prize to me. It is certainly not a one-person achievement, by far not. It is first of all the university that has nominated me for this prize and for offering, as I said from the start, the environment that I'm looking for. And next to it, but maybe more foremost, the many students, the many PhD students, the many postdocs, the many colleagues that I have in 2 departments which I had the privilege to work with. These people have really done a great job in moving their and my dream forward. And that inspiration and perspiration, or transpiration you can also call it, that they have given were a unique experience, or are a unique experience. I see that I have to stop, and I wish all of you the chance to excel, and I wish you all the chance to find the end of the rainbow. Thank you very much.
Thank you, René. I think you got further along the rainbow than most of us. We would like to congratulate you with your award on behalf of the whole work group. And I hope that you may hand in a reviewed paper for the one that got rejected. The rector already mentioned this, but 2015 and 2016 will be an innovating year for us. And I would like to share some of the highlights for the coming year. Not only do we start with a new graduate school, but once again we have shown that we've proved the success of the Bachelor College by an increased student inflow. Moreover, I look out with excitement to our 60th Dies Natalis. But this is not a complete outlook without taking a look at Flux, our newest building. The departments of electrical engineering and applied physics now have a new home. I myself am very fortunate to work and study a lot at Flux. Flux is durable, modern, but above all, a very open building. The open structure truly encourages you to have more contact with students and colleagues. In order to show you what this building means for applied physics and electrical engineering, the deans of both departments will tell you how they experience their home.
To get the best ideas, you need interaction with other people. Ideas rarely come out of the blue sky. They arrive from bits and pieces and discussions with all kinds of other people, and that is simulated in this building.
The building itself is a marvelous place to be, as it's a very nice place to do the work. It's inviting to do the work, and the facilities are state of the art. It's top of the bill. The special of this building is its openness.
Full of interaction between people, full of interaction between education and research.
People are meeting each other throughout the day, many places, on the stairs, coffee machines, everywhere. And being a meeting place for people, that's where new ideas are born. And that's what we want. Eindhoven University is very well known for the photonics research work, and we are leading, we are 2 years ahead of the rest of the world in that respect. And that's all done in the laboratories here.
Building big laboratories, everybody can do. What is important is what you do in them. Doing research at a very high level requires infrastructure, and that's what has been done in this building.
see is that people have a place to sit, but that's not the place where they are working all day. So they have the laboratories to do their practical work, their experimental work. They have the meeting places, meeting rooms where they have all facilities available for doing the meetings. They have quiet rooms where they can work quietly if necessary, writing papers, writing proposals, doing the work that the scientists need to do.
The physics department, they make materials, they try to understand materials, they try to improve the materials. And the Department of Electrical Engineering, they use those materials to make new devices. So the combination of the two is the key to success. On first impression, this is a building like any other university building, office building, except when you look more carefully. You don't see any heat convectors for heating the building. You don't see any big ventilation openings for air conditioning. The concrete floor makes the building a cave. The energy which is consumed by the building is not used for creating heat and for creating cool air. It's used for moving the energy from deeper layers in the ground to the building with a constant temperature which hardly needs any additional adjustment.
What you see is that in the fields that we are operating at, and that there's many opportunities for close collaboration, and that's what we have been able to establish already before we were together in one building. But having this combined building where people meet each other throughout the day, many places, many ways, that is the way to further stimulate and further develop that collaboration between those parties. Enabling top-level research, really, yeah. And that's what we are looking for.
Did you spot the best place to be at the building? It's one of the last images was shown there. Ladies and gentlemen, the first part of our academic opening session is almost over. Before I conclude, a few words of thanks. First of all, I'd like to express my gratitude to our Masters of Ceremonies, Glenn Bergmans, and his team sitting over there. You recognize him with this special tie. For organizing this evening's event. You've done a great job, and your hard work has paid off. Thus far, that's great what happens this evening. Thank you so much. I also would like to thank Sander Dekker for coming to Eindhoven and for your fascinating account. Sander, you think so, but you're not done yet. We still have to do the formal opening of the Flux building. I invite all of you to the procession that we will have to the opening of the Flux building. As ever, there will be basically two options. There's a party with a DJ, that's half of the audience. And it's a somewhat more quiet event, that part of the audience, I guess. But I will try to attend both events. I will certainly attend the party that you will have this evening. Thank you all for coming. We will now do something official together with Glenn for the opening of the academic year. I will count. Okay, there we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh my God. Okay. Super. Good job.